Yeah, they had us the first half. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Brought by Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back to Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit to do and welcome into more important issues. It is Sunday, January 23rd. We are here after we called it. No big deal. We called a Tennessee victory. I don't think we did score predictions, though. So I'm telling you, there's something to it. Did we?
We did not do score predictions, but we did say this was a must-win.
Okay, I like that. We're just going to have to put a must-win on everything, I think. That was quite the performance. We, of course, will recap Tennessee welcoming LSU and poor old Will Wade. I was going to give the little boy award out to someone else this week, but I think after that picture of him sitting like a little boy, I think it's only appropriate.
Also, why is he sitting like that?
Yeah,
Go sit in a chair and pal. Don't sit on the damn court, you moron.
And I guess it was shown on TV because you got that picture from TV. I missed that shot of him. So
I didn't see that either.
Okay. So, at least I'm not alone, but I was happy to see the image regardless. So, we will recap all that as well as preview Florida. Tennessee takes on Florida on Wednesday night. I don't know how late of a tip-off that is. I don't think Tennessee got a 9 o'clock. I don't think they got shafted that hard for that Wednesday tip-off, but I'm not sure what.
It's 6 o'clock.
It is 6. Okay.
Yeah.
That's in Thompson Bowling Arena as well. So we'll preview all of that. We've also got, love these days, we've got a guest on tonight, VFL, Chad Dallas, former pitcher for the fighting Tony Vitellos, and we'll welcome him on and talk a little baseball where he's at right now. He is with the Toronto Blue Jays organization, was drafted by them in, I guess, June or July, whenever that MLB draft was. But we'll talk about his time at Tennessee. He was a big part of that team that fought their way to Omaha, and can't wait to have him on. Love the guest days.
Yeah, super excited. I wore my Sunday cream just for this, so
smart.
So yeah, I'm pumped up. Are the Vols back on track?
Ooh. Okay, let's jump right into it. I will say this: what I'm kind of excited about is we talked about those tiers in the SEC, and not that I don't think Tennessee's expectation should be, to be in that SEC championship game or to be in the top 2, top 3. But as it stands right now, it seems like it's Auburn, Kentucky, Alabama, and then kind of everybody else. Now there is kind of a second tier group of that Tennessee, LSU. Probably Arkansas fits into.
Florida probably too.
Maybe Florida is in that group. And I feel like Tennessee should really, really want to be in that number 4 spot in the SEC when the season concludes. That's a first round bye in the tournament. It's, that's where you're kind of where you should be, in that group of the next 4, and you want to be in the top of that. Just when you look at the rest of the field. So getting this win, I know you split one with LSU, but you didn't get swept. You get a win over them. Like you said, we did call it a must win. It was a must win when you look at where Tennessee wants to be at the end of the year. That's a big win, and they did it in a big way too.
Yeah, 100%. Started fast. That's something that Tennessee hasn't really done a lot of, and got what was it, 14-0 at one point.
Well, not just the first half. They did, of course, started off the first half on a huge run, 14-0 run before LSU got their first points of the game. Then they started off the second half, 8-2 run, I think, before things kind of started going back and forth. So started off both halves really strong. And I think it's got to be, when you have that defense that Tennessee has, it has to be so nice to so you're up 5 going into the half. So now you're up, if I can do my math here, you're up 11 starting the second half, you're up 14 to start the game, and you have that defense on one end of the floor. So that's got to be comforting to really get out to that kind of start.
Yeah, you have that defense. You also have LSU that's not hitting shots.
That helps.
They weren't lighting it up like Kentucky was. So, yeah, you definitely have that defense to lean on. And, yeah, it's definitely got to give you a huge boost knowing you got that cushion in between you guys.
Yeah, loved that 14-0 start. It was so it started midway through the fourth quarter, maybe, or no, midway through the third quarter of that Bengals-Titans game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm flipping back and forth between the two of them. I have both TVs going, but watching both. And every time you look up, Tennessee's up 2, up 3 more than they just were. It was so I was like, there's no way this is real.
Well, what about like the first shot we make is a 3-pointer? It's like, okay, here we go. Like we're on it. And going back to, we talked about Vescovi being the player that he's been this season, just continues to be Tennessee's most consistent player. And I'll go ahead and say it. He's Tennessee's best player right now.
Yeah, as it stands today, I agree. I was about to say, what about when you said starting off with a 3-pointer? What about Vescovi? Just felt like he was everywhere on the court Saturday night. It was we know he's kind of been one of the more he's been the most consistent guy. Then to kind of go out and have the day he had, we talked about how much faster he looked. He looked so much faster with the ball in his hand, off ball. He looked like a fantastic, beyond what he's been, fantastic player Saturday night.
And I think he's a fiery kid anyway. Like he's always got, brings energy and stuff like that. And I think having Urosh bringing the energy that he does, it just elevates Vescovi to the next level. It seems like. I could be wrong, but the past couple of games, it certainly looked that way.
Yeah. I love it. I love that Vescovi's having the year he's had. Maybe it's the name. The name got him fired up, and he wants to be the guy that no one can pronounce their name. Apparently, that's his goal, and I like that. Like you got to say his name, but you're questioning whether you're saying it right. I like it.
And it's different from the last player that we had when we mispronounced his name. If that's going to happen, the lights are on you. So you gotta go out and show out, and it seems like Vescovi is definitely doing that right now. Leading this basketball team, it just seems like this program and this team has some life, just something about them right now. I don't know what it is, but I hope it keeps rolling. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, I think I hope it's. I'm not going to forget a week ago. A week ago, and I know Kentucky. Not that Kentucky didn't play a great game against Auburn. I'm sure we'll talk about some of those SEC matchups in that one particular. They looked. It was a freaking slugfest. It was so much fun. We've gotten so much good sports this weekend. We've been spoiled. But I know Kentucky shot really well, but that was just you just got your head beat in. And I know it's by one of the best in the league. I'm not ready to shake that off yet. For me, you do get Florida, Texas, then you don't get those other teams till the rest of the season. So you got a lot of time to figure it out. I hope that this fire carries over because there are a lot of important. Of course, the must wins that are the ones you should win are about to come up on your schedule. But then you get hit with a lot of you really want to win those games. They're in the back half of the season.
Yeah, again, just kind of leading on that defense. You're shooting better. It seems like from 3, 35% isn't anything to, I guess, write home about, but it's definitely a lot better than it has been. Just one thing Tennessee's got to do better at is be more consistent at the free throw line. The other night they were dominant against Vanderbilt. Only missed like 3 or 4 free throws, and they shot like 28 or something like that. It was a ridiculous amount. And then yesterday, 10 of 18, 55.6%. Just that could be the difference in winning and losing a basketball game very easily.
Right. To go back to you mentioned the 3-point, 35% is not great. When you shoot it 28 times, though, that's a lot of 3-pointers made.
Yeah.
So that's the good news is that Tennessee's still shooting a lot. I know you hated that comment when you were like, what do you do to shoot shoot better, get a higher percentage there. Like, just you got to keep shooting. Unfortunately, like that's the only way. So they've definitely continued that along, and it's slowly improving. We hope to maybe get above that 35% mark, but yeah, when you do it a lot, that's still a lot of points out there.
Yeah, I would just like to see more of this team not just be stagnant. Like, don't act like that 3-point line is just a block. Like, you can't go past it to shoot the basketball. I mean, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 players that all they shot was 3-pointers the other night. Now, again, we had a better percentage, and that was a good thing. But, like, I need to see more aggressiveness, I guess. I mean, I know maybe the chart doesn't say mid-range is where to go, but it's got to be an option for you at times. You can't just stay back behind that 3 along the perimeter and not attempt a 2-point shot at all.
Well, and then you talked about aggression and a guy that didn't shoot a 3 and, nature that he shouldn't be. But Uros he looks so aggressive. He looks so much more confident Saturday night against LSU than he has, in my opinion, all season. Not that he hadn't had good moments, not that he hadn't played good games, but the aggressiveness and the confidence that Uros brought Saturday night, it looks like a different 7-footer out there.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I don't know what he's found, but he's found it, whatever it is. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, was 5 for 7 from the field. I mean, just you can't ask
dunks.
Yeah, I mean,
the man
you can't ask anything more. And he spends the whole game getting into the head of the opponent, and they can't take it. I don't know if it's just the being foreign and just getting punked out by a 7-foot foreign guy. I don't know what it is, but it seems like opponents do not like Uros, and he's just thriving in it.
Yeah. He seemed to definitely enjoy the villain role this past weekend.
Fun. Hey, the baseball team took on the villain role. I'm okay if we do that with every team.
Well, I mean, we kind of have been the football villain for a while. It's time to just own it and be it. With Rick Barnes as your head coach, it's a little bit harder to be the villain as the basketball. But if the players want to take it on, you can be the good guys in the post game interviews and the bad guys on the court. Like, that's fine with me.
Yeah, he's the guy asking for forgiveness after the game.
Exactly. Yeah, you got a good guy on your side.
Yeah. It's a good balance. But yeah, this game, I thought it was two really good defensive teams. LSU just doesn't have a lot of shooters, and I think if you aren't able to knock down shots on Tennessee, you're scoring in the 50s. So you better prevent Tennessee from, getting into the 60s, or you're going to lose that ball game.
Well, that's, I mean, you mentioned 2 good, sound defensive teams coming into this game, but I still wouldn't have guessed 64 points would win you that game, especially by 14. And I know how good a defensive team Tennessee is. Mm-hmm. But that's still when you look at kind of the landscape, I guess, as a whole and what Tennessee's done this year, 64 points wins Tennessee ball games because of their defense, but LSU hadn't hung around that area. Like, that's not them.
Yeah, they're averaging about like 75 per game. And that was definitely their lowest total of the year. I think their next total was 55 they had against Auburn.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't have guessed 64 would have won you that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they didn't have Xavier Pinson. Who else were they potentially going to have out? I think he played.
Darius Days played. He did.
Darius, okay. And he was sprained ankle or coming off of some kind of ankle injury?
Something like that. He was 2 for 10. He didn't play all that well, but
yeah.
He still had 7 rebounds. I mean, he led the team in rebounds. So,
yeah, I thought they had someone. I could not remember who it was.
He did shoot
exactly what the situation
7
was.
3-pointers. He was 1 for 7 from 3. So, I don't know if you want your big man shooting threes. I personally do not. And we've seen that some this year. And
if he can shoot better than 1 for 7, I'll take it. But
yeah,
I'm 1 for 7. I'll
not for it.
No, 1 for 7. I'll have you pull that thing down. We're good.
Ooh, this is a good question. Did you see that?
I didn't. I'm not getting anything. It may be mine. Okay. I don't know.
So, Eric Claiborne said, "Do you think Barnes shows any emotion when he goes back to Texas this week?"
I gotta think so. You spent. I mean, define emotion. Is he fired up? Is he? Do you get I don't think you get a Bruce Pearl pump up the home crowd kind of thing.
Yeah, Rick Barnes didn't come out there shirtless or anything.
But I think there'll definitely be some. I mean, there's got to be emotion there. It's weird. It's almost like that. The Texas saga ended very quickly. Like, it's not like they're playing the next year after, and then they're on their second head coach since Rick Barnes too.
Yeah.
They don't have Shaka Smart there still. So
It's been a
I don't
while.
know what. Yeah, I don't know what that. But I got to think it'll be emotional. He was there for 16 or 17 years. It's a lot. That's a long time. And so, yeah, I hope it's another thing that the team can use to, want to win this game for a guy wanting to beat his former team. I hope it's something they can use. Anytime you can motivate your team to play more, it's beneficial. So I hope so. I do hope there's some emotion there. I hope maybe in the locker room before he runs out, you get a little let's beat the hell out of him or something as we
I think Urosh and Santi will be up for it.
They are. I mean, you saw Vescovi fiery. I mean, Urosh. You don't think of 7-footers as fiery, but he's fiery.
He is. And like, what are you going to do? Like, I mean, half the players that are mad at him are he's a head taller than him. Like, what are you actually going to do?
Yeah, I want Tennessee. I feel like has been in a scuffle, close to a scuffle, not quite a scuffle, just about every game.
Yeah, it's fair.
It seems,
and a lot of it is because of those two guys.
Urosh is always the second wave in. He's rarely the first wave, but he's
it's usually somebody pushes Vescovi, and here comes Urosh, the enforcer. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody mentioned he's got Bash Brother vibes.
I was gonna say, you mentioned Vescovi's been in a lot of instances this year. Are Vescovi and Plavsic, are they the Bash brothers?
See, I'm more thinking like Vescovi is almost like, Tanner from the Bad News Bears.
I'm gonna guess. I'm trying to remember.
He's the kid that like wants to fight everybody. He's like
he
talks. Billy Bob Thornton's like,
yeah.
Who'd you get in a fight with? He was like the 7th grade. Like that's Vescovi.
All of them. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. We need to find a good pairing for them. Need something to.
Man,
they're together all the time.
Revenge feels nice, doesn't it?
It does, and you like we talked about this too, and then it was, of course, everyone kind of talked about it leading up to that game, and I think the question was even asked to Rick Barnes, why does Will Wade have Tennessee's number? Why is it not something Tennessee can overcome? So to get that monkey off your back, to get even in the series with them, and then we talked about the implications it could have on the SEC standings as it finishes out the year. That's a big win. That is every bit of a big win for so many reasons.
Yeah, I mean that we've talked about how we couldn't. It's been hard for us to win against those 3 teams: LSU, Auburn, and Alabama. And you get one back against LSU. I think that's good to kind of get over that hump, like you're talking about. I'm trying to think. So we play Auburn. We don't play Alabama.
Alabama's done.
Again.
You get one more at Auburn. I think it's a home game this year.
It is at home. It's okay. February 26th at home.
Love it.
Yeah, I'd love to get over that hump too. God, Will Wade. Let's go into little boy. I mean, why is he always crying?
Dude, that's
freaking out.
And I know a lot of people get on to like Barnes about not getting into the refs enough, but it's so annoying. And I know, and I think every coach, they coached long enough, they're Division I SEC basketball coaches, they've been around it. Refs are terrible. Like, that's just part of it. And there's some calls you got to get onto them about. Man, watching Calipari argue with the refs all the time, it's so annoying. Watching Will Wade just constantly stay on the refs. It's and like they're whining at every turn. It's so annoying. It's awful.
Like this guy's like in the middle of the game sitting down at the scores table.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. If I'm an LSU fan, I'd be embarrassed.
Sad
to have Will Wade. Yeah. And Calipari argued, he got mad because I think he wanted maybe a flagrant on a call. It's like, you got the foul call. Like, if you want to have a conversation with him about the flagrant, by all means, have a conversation. But he's like whining and pitching and, throwing his arms, flailing his arms, turning around. Like, he is pitching a fit about a call he got. It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
Couldn't be us. I just don't understand why they're still a decent basketball team. I just don't understand. Like, they win Like, why do the basketball gods reward programs like that? Reward a guy like Will Wade like that? I'll never understand.
I hate him. You should too.
Tennessee, I think we mentioned Tari Eason having a huge game in Baton Rouge. Had a decent game against Tennessee this time, but didn't like have a all career game like we've kind of talked about. Tennessee just it seems to let one guy just dominate the game. And Tari Eason did have 16 points. I think he had like 6 or 7 rebounds, but it definitely wasn't overpowering over everybody else.
Well, that's another thing, and it helped him going back into LSU shooting poorly. He had a pretty big game, 16 points, but everybody around him was very, very, very not good. So
yeah,
it helps when a guy can have a career day against you when the rest of his team are having career bad days.
Yep. Good game. I enjoyed it.
Love
it was fun.
Oh,
fun to watch. The Titans couldn't make it a perfect weekend, but
no.
Tennessee fans will take 50%.
And at least we got a good game out of it. And you get McPherson. Did he tell Joe Burrow or did he tell someone else? He said, "You ready to play in the AFC Championship game?" before he went out to kick. Like come on.
It ain't a Florida kicker, so that makes it even worse.
He is I think he is from Florida. He's a rookie kicker though. That's 4 for 4 in game-winning field goals.
How far have they been?
I don't know that. That was a stat they flashed up on the screen, so I don't know the answer to that. Yeah.
One more thing before we get away from LSU. Olivier, just a weird game. Like again, going back to consistency, just didn't have it. Only played 16 minutes. It seems like he played most of that in the first half, and then didn't really see him in the second half. But Fulkerson kind of picked up where he was kind of lacking. Fulkerson had 8 points, only 1 rebound. It was 3 for 3 from the field. So quality 14 minutes. Kumon, no points. 0 for 1, only took 1 shot.
Yeah, and you want a consistent big man, and you're glad you've gotten it out of Urosh the last couple games. But it's at least good that Kumon didn't play good. You had Fulkerson come in and play pretty solid he didn't play a ton of minutes. And then even Brandon Hunley Hatfield had a good game too for the amount of minutes he played. So you're getting it by committee at least yesterday. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, you'd like to you need a consistent guy if you want to be a top team. But at least you got it from someone yesterday.
For sure. Go Tigers.
Anything else for LSU before we look at Florida on Wednesday night?
No, let's look at Florida. Yes, Colin Castleton is still at Florida. He is out, though.
I was going to say, how old is he, though?
He has not played in the last 2 games. He's out for it says it indefinitely. Mike White said it is a significant injury to his shoulder. So I think there could be a possibility he plays, but it looks kind of doubtful at this point. They do play Ole Miss on Monday, so it is a short turnaround for Florida. But they are coming off 3 wins against Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, and somebody else.
Well, I'm trying to pull it up right now because I know you mentioned they play Ole Miss on Monday. I know that was a rescheduled game from
South Carolina.
It was COVID.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Did they play Saturday too?
Yep. They played Vanderbilt
Saturday, Monday, Wednesday. Golly. Yep.
Hey, we'll take that.
I'm not complaining, but I'm just if I'm Florida,
it sucks for them. Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible for them. Terrible.
But Colin Castleton is their leading scorer, 15.4 points per game. Also, their leading rebounder with 9.1 rebounds per game, and then he's second in the SEC in blocks. So huge loss for them. It didn't seem to really affect them against Vanderbilt, which it's kind of Vanderbilt. But I know they did play Tennessee tough, but they always do. And yeah. Got to go win. Must win, right?
you have because of how you started against the top teams, there are going to be a lot of must wins from here until the end of February.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of
Win
them.
win the ones you're supposed to. I'm not sure what the line will look like. I'm interested to see that. They did have some guys kind of play like Appleby is not starting, which I thought was weird, but Fulgerson's not starting for us, so maybe that's weird to them too. But I think Tennessee is another game where if Tennessee's defense comes to play, I think we'll be just fine. Just got to find our shooting stroke, kind of like we did against LSU a little bit, and I think Tennessee should win this game. I wouldn't say a blowout, but they should win it by like 7 to 10 points.
All right. I'll remember that for the spread. I might bet on Tennessee this week. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
See what that opening spread's at.
But Jatobo and DeRougie are kind of their download presence with the absence of Colin Castleton. DeRougie can also shoot the three. I think he shoots about 38%. And I think that's their best three-point shooter on the year. So not a great offensive team. I think a pretty good defensive team. But I think this could also be a huge game for John Fulgerson to get some payback on what Florida did to him in the SEC tournament last year.
Despicable. Who was it that?
Omar Payne. He's not there anymore.
Okay, yeah, he's not at Florida.
I forget.
That would have been nice.
He went to like a big school, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he did. He transferred? Okay.
Illinois, yeah. I was about to say it's a team that's like good. He doesn't play very much, but yeah, he's no longer there. But yeah, definitely. I'm sure Fulgerson would love another game like he did against Arizona, where he just takes over the game against a team that kind of put him out for a while.
Yeah. I hope, man. His spot isn't gone. I know Urush is playing well, but I mean that I got to think that rotation is still up for grabs with Kumwa not playing the best, and this, like you said, would be a great game to get back at someone and then get back in the flow of things. Kind of build off that LSU game. Hopefully, you're getting over whatever it was has been going on the last month or so.
Yeah, I think Urosh had his career high in minutes the other night at 28. So I think they're more than comfortable with rolling with 4 guards and playing Josiah kind of at that 4 and having Urosh just log down the middle.
I hope we keep seeing this aggressive Urosh. If we see this aggressive Urosh against Florida, especially with Castleton out, it should be another good night from him in terms of points.
You remember how big of fans we were of Urosh before he got like eligible? We were waiting.
You're a 7-footer. 7-footer. I'll sign me up.
I was the biggest Urosh guy ever because I was like, holy crap, we're getting a big man finally. They kind of died down a little bit, but now you're seeing kind of that expectation, I guess, that we kind of put on him from the get-go.
I mean, listen, I make fun of the scouts for seeing big guys and getting all gooey out over it and the fat and the ones that are fast too. But you bring me a guy that can run a 4.40 or a 7-footer or a defensive lineman that's 270 and can run a 4.8. I'm in. You don't have to say anymore. I don't blame the scouts. Sign me up. I'm in.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take it to Florida. Mike White. I forgot he's Danny White's brother too.
Oh,
That's just another thing that you can just maybe poke the bear a little bit with this team right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of pride on the line. Not just SEC pride. You got some family pride on the line.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
What do you think if Rick Barnes retires, do you think that Danny White would go after Mike White?
I hope not. I really hope not.
Yeah,
surely not.
I just thought about that right now, and I'm like, oh my God, that would be a terrible hire.
Yeah. So I'm not counting on it,
especially with where Tennessee's program's at.
Yeah, it's like I feel like football. You talk about not being able to get big names. Basketball, assuming it kind of stays where it's at. I'm not saying you necessarily be able to grab anybody you want from any school, but you are able to pick and choose at some level of it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Anything else for Florida? Florida
That's all I
Wednesday
got.
night.
Screw Florida.
Screw Florida. I'm with that. You can use more vulgar language or lighter language. I don't care which one. You can't really switch the two first letters of F in Florida. It doesn't work in this case. Cuck Kentucky. I threw that one out this weekend when they lost to Auburn. You can't do that with Florida. It doesn't work. So
yeah,
unfortunately. We are going to move along and welcoming in our guest. We are bringing on Chad Dallas. He's a VFL. He was big part of that team that went to Omaha. He was your Friday night starter. Chad, thanks for hopping on, man. How are you doing tonight?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Cheese.
What's up?
Hey, man. Good to have you on. Appreciate it. Just first wanted to ask kind of what you're up to these days. I know you're in town. So what's that kind of been like, and kind of what are your plans for the future of this upcoming season?
Yeah, man, it's good to be back. I like coming back and seeing the guys, seeing the coaches, just kind of being around here and training with, the guys I'm used to training with. And the plan is, stay in shape, stay healthy, and just stay ready for, this upcoming season.
And as far as we know you got drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays. How has that transition gone? What's the working with the organization? I know you guys aren't quite to spring training, but it is sneaking up on us. What's that been like since July, and what are you kind of expecting come March?
It's been good. Went down to Florida for a couple months and trained with the staff with the Blue Jays, and it's been really easy and great working with that staff. Great organization, and I've enjoyed all of it since the beginning. Super excited, to be with them and to have this opportunity. As it goes for this season, I don't really know what the plan's going to be, but I mean, I'll go into spring training ready, and just kind of go with the flow wherever they send me. So. Yeah, that's about it.
How much of your family's Christmas gifts were Toronto Blue Jays gear?
It was a good amount of stuff. It was good to kind of give them that stuff because it used to be some Tennessee gear. So add a different team into that, give them a new color. But it's been good. They've loved it. They've had a lot of questions for me and just kind of wondering how it's been, but they've been, super supportive, and it's been awesome.
We got some questions for you. Nancy asked when you're going to clean your room. And then I asked, I told Ross Kivett, your former assistant coach, that you're coming on the show, and we have a good relationship with him. And he was like, ask him why he lives in Houston, Texas, and he never comes by and sees him.
The answer to that is I do not live in Houston, Texas. I live about hour 45 away from Houston. But when I am there, I do reach out, and then, it just hasn't worked out since. But I do plan on, when I get back to Texas, I do plan on going to see him. So,
gotcha.
Kivett, if you're listening, just know I'm coming.
Hey, the car works both ways. He could come to you too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he might not have much free time as I do at the moment, but you got to be some time.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got all the money. He's got all that gas money. He's probably got a driver now. So
yeah, exactly.
Hard getting paid. Landon mentioned your family. I did want to ask about the Cheeseheads. Because I don't think I remember seeing it until about halfway through this past season. Was that ready to go? First off, it's an awesome outfit to support Cheese. So how did that come about, and when did they start busting them out?
Yeah, so Cheese has been the nickname, ever since I can remember. And I remember one of my dad's good buddies bought me and my brother 2 Cheeseheads, like from Green Bay. Mm-hmm. He bought those for us, and we've had them, probably since middle school, and always kept them. And so with the nickname, they've just, they've always thought about it. And then one day they finally brought them to Knoxville with them. And so they wore them and they started to get a little attention. And then my dad ordered like these baseball, like baseball caps that were made out of like the same kind of foam, and there was cheese. And so once it started getting a little attention, I loved it. They loved it. Fans loved it. So they just kept on rocking them.
Oh yeah, that was iconic in the stadium this year.
Oh yeah.
I was in the stadium when there wasn't a lot of people there at the first of the year, but you always knew where Chad Dallas's family was.
Yeah, I think that might have been a little part of the reason too. I never had to search for them if I ever needed to look.
I love the Green Bay hats. They're awesome.
Oh yeah.
Where does the nickname comes from? The Goofy movie, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and when did this start? When did she start?
Man, I'm trying to think. I mean, I was super young, just doing what Bobby did. I'd either do the real, canned cheese, spray it, and cheddar. I would do it, or with the cheese or without. And so I thought he was the cool guy, so I did it. And so after a while, people just started calling me cheese, cheddar, stuff like that. And then, it just one day stuck. And ever since then, my own parents don't even call me Chad anymore. So
You just cheese.
What
about a girlfriend or significant other? They call you cheese too?
Yeah, girlfriend calls me cheese every once in a while. Not all the time, like most
when you're in trouble.
do, but just about everybody I know definitely calls me cheese.
Those are some of the foods are like the best nicknames. Ham, cheese,
Oh, yeah.
all that is just they're good dog like dog names too.
It's hard to forget. That's why.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
I noticed too. You're not wearing glasses.
No.
Are you moving to contacts? Are you still with glasses? What's the deal there?
No, I actually got LASIK eye surgery. So
Oh.
yeah. I do plan on popping the lenses out of my goggles and still wearing the frame. So don't worry about that. When I'm on the field, I'll still have them on. Yeah, but I got LASIK probably about 4 weeks ago.
Oh,
All right, that's a good use of the signing money right there.
Yeah, it's definitely been worth it all.
So you spent your freshman year at Panola College in Texas, and then went to Tennessee. You chose Tennessee. What was kind of that recruiting process like, and then why Tennessee?
Yeah, so being at Panola, which shout out to the Pony Boys, loved my time there. And recruiting kind of picked up towards it started in the spring, kind of picked up a little bit, and I took a visit to like an unofficial to A&M with it being so close, and then I took a official visit to Tennessee. I think they were playing Mississippi State in Knoxville. Me and my dad came up here and loved it. I mean, ever since we first drove on campus, we both loved it. And it was, we didn't even really meet anybody yet. And it was just like, it felt like home. And it's weird to say that when you're just driving through a place, but it's when we were driving, I was picturing myself being there. I was picturing myself going to school, at practice, playing games here. And it was awesome. And then we got to meet people, got to meet players, Crochet, Stallings, Connor, Landon, guys like those, Fergie. And it was really cool to see because, to me, I was still a JUCO guy. So these SEC players were like still like role models almost, like they're doing it at the moment. So it was like really cool to go watch, get to come watch them play. And man, sitting down with the coaches, you could tell that all of them, the way they spoke, the way they, they wanted to win, and it wasn't for themselves. They're not doing it for money. They're not doing it for the title. They're doing it for us. And so that really clicked with me. And so after my visit, I knew it in my head. I waited a little bit though, just to make sure that it was, what I really wanted. And I called my dad up one day and I was like, hey, we haven't talked a whole bunch, but like, I'm going to Tennessee. Like, it's for sure. And his exact answer was good. I was thinking the same thing. So then I called Frank Anderson and Coach V, and I called them both, and they were super excited, and that even made me more excited and made me super ready to get up. So yeah, I mean, there was any school I talked to, any school I visited, it wasn't close. It wasn't close at all.
That's awesome.
Well, and kind of what brought you to Tennessee, but not only brought you, led to success. This has been such a fast turnaround since Tony Vitello has arrived on campus. Is there one thing that kind of stuck out to you as a visitor, or when you got on campus, it's like, all right, this is why we were able to get to Omaha in year, I guess, 4, kind of really year 3, since you lost out on 2020. What, did you see that in what you were hearing as it arrived? Is that one thing that helped you get there, the future of success on the horizon? And then, how were you all able to do it? And kind of what seemed like, I mean, you're in the SEC. It's not an easy road to get even to the tournament, let alone Omaha.
Yeah. So like you said, when I was on my visit, they told me about the history of Tennessee baseball, and being from Texas, I never thought about Tennessee. As a kid, you think about your home state teams. And so when we came out here, they told us the history of kind of the past couple of years. And then, that was the year they went to the first regional in, some number of years. And so just within like a year, 1 or 2 difference, that's a huge difference that they already made. And I trusted, they told me that they were still moving up, and I trusted that. And me and my dad had talked about, like, a big reason that I told him I wanted to be a volunteer is I kept questioning myself, basically, like, what if I'm the missing puzzle piece? Just, from being a good teammate to motivating people to pitching to, just anything. What if I was the missing piece to make, like, making the full turnaround for this, for the team? And so that kind of stuck with me. I couldn't get it out of my head. And so
From a little bit of
we lose him for a
issues there
second.
with Chad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
See if we can get him back in here in a second.
That's while we're waiting on him, hopefully we get him back here, just like you said, in just a second. Kind of bumping. I want to jump back to that turnaround that Tennessee had. Here we go.
There he
is.
we got it.
We got him.
Yeah. So the connection between coaches and players and players, it was truly special. I mean, everybody wanted to win for any other guy on the team. And that's something you can't coach or teach. It just happens. And so that's a huge part of our success. And it's the same reason, we have talented people, but when you have a team that has a really good connection and wants to play for the person to the left and right of them instead of just themselves, it makes a big difference. And it's going to run through Tennessee for a while.
Yeah, it seems like personality was just a big thing with you guys. I mean, you had it on the mound. Evan Russell had it. A lot of those players had it. And we've had Pete Durkee on and Connor Pavoloni, and they kind of talked about, that's Vitello. That trickles down from him. He was actually at the LSU game last night with the T-shirt cannon. Joe, do you have that picture?
I did see that
picture. Yeah, there it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, is that what he's like all the time?
Oh yeah. And a lot of people, back home, they'll ask me about him. Coaches, past coaches, or players. The one thing that I tell them is Coach V has the perfect balance of being your coach and being one of the guys. And that's not easy. He can mess around. He can, maybe not necessarily your homie, but, he can be one of the guys. And, but then at the same time, 2 minutes later, he can get on to you if you're not doing what you're supposed to. And he has that perfect balance, and that what makes him such a great coach.
I love I mean, it's been so much fun to watch, and it's been so easy to root for. Landon mentioned the personalities. I do want to ask you kind of about your mentality specifically, because you were the Friday night starter. You led off things for the series. Is that something? I mean, did you kind of welcome that? Did you have to learn to do it? I know you did a little bit in 2020. Don't know where you would have fallen, later on in the season with Crochet coming back in there. But what was that kind of learning to be the leadoff guy? Did you welcome it? Kind of setting the tone, not just for the game, but the series.
Yeah. I've been a starter my whole life. And honestly, I've never cared about if I, came out of the bullpen, closed, be a starter. So, that never was like a mental thing for me. I just want to pitch. And so I was used to starting, but, this is, the game speeds up at every level you go to. So, in 2020, it was different, but I just went into it with an open mind and, what some people, just a kind of a dog mentality of, you got to go through me. And that's just kind of a pitcher's thing because, we have to not serve you, but we have to throw the ball. We got to pitch to the hitter. And, that's just how the game works. That's how you get out. So you throw to the hitter. And so, but like you said, like having to learn for it, it really was a difference maker when it came to conference play. Because this past season was the first time I actually got to, compete in conference. And so that was a little different because the speed of the game, it keeps rising. And, they had told past players, coaches, they tell you that, but you don't really understand it until you actually step on the field, for a Friday night against an opponent in the same conference. And so, but I knew.
Might have lost him again.
I hope we didn't lose. Yeah, I hope we didn't lose him again. If we do, hopefully we get him back. We'll fight through the technical difficulties. I like what I do like what he said about just it's like, all right, is there a mentality you got to take to that kind of stuff? And I kind of had another question about that too. But if you just go out there and he plays with that mentality in terms of attacking the strike zone. So it's I don't know. It seems like a mental hurdle that at some point you got to get over. But I guess the good guys don't have those mental hurdles.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you got it or you don't. I mean,
right.
When I played baseball in high school, I hated pitching because I don't like being the center of attention, and I don't like, things like, I guess I'm scared of the moment, whatever it may be. But yeah, I mean, those guys that just enjoy that, they're different.
Yeah.
I lost y'all for a bit.
We got him. I like the bounce back. We gotta always keep coming back.
Oh yeah.
Short memory. In 2020, you guys didn't really get to see that season play out the way that it did. You beat the number one team in the country in Texas Tech in Round Rock. You actually pitched that game, and had a nice game. When did you? During that off season, going from 2020 to 2021, when did y'all just like? At what point were you just like, hey guys, we got to forget about last season? I know we had a really good team. It sucks, but we got this next year.
Yeah. Like just about everything, it started with, the coaches. Coach V preached it. And like with the whole game of baseball, you have to have a short-term memory. But, that was a little harder to just kind of move on from because that team was scary. And we had big plans for that team. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see how things would have turned out, but like you said, it starts with the coaches. He preached it, put it in our mind, and the team last year finally, we bought into it and just started focusing on this next season because we couldn't go back and stop the quarantine, take away COVID, and finish the season. It was impossible to do. So we finally just understood there's no point of worrying about it. You can think about it, but don't let it sink in. Don't think about it too much.
Yeah, was it kind of a mentality of like, hey, let's let's go do it for the guys that, like a Crochet, like Zach Daniels, guys like that who didn't get to see it play out.
100%. Yeah. I mean, like you said, some of those guys lost their last season of college baseball, and that's pretty tough. And that kind of same thought process of doing it for those guys definitely did cross my mind at a couple of points through the season. And it was awesome to see watch it unfold and be a part of the journey of what happened last season.
Yeah, I think about it all the time, but I like to be miserable sometimes. It was because you're like, that team's so good. It's pretty much this team, and you had guys like you had Daniels and Crochet. It's like, God, that would have been fun. That would have been a fun ride too. Just like 2021.
Yeah, we as players definitely talk about it, every once in a while, and just kind of be like, yo, like that team was different.
Yep.
It was a good one. I do want to ask you about. I have 2 questions because I know when we had Dirk on, you talk about doing it for others. You guys are unselfish. So I have this is a 2-parter. Your favorite moment of being a Tennessee Vol that involves Chad Dallas. And then your second one, it can be another Chad Dallas moment if you want it to be, but just like a team moment that was like I was on the field for that or I was in the dugout for that kind of deal.
All right. Cheese moment. Man, it honestly has nothing to do with, I'm going to turn into a 3 because I can't really.
I like it.
The actual cheese moment would definitely be Super Regionals LSU.
Rain delay.
Yeah. Oh my God. And they played my walkout song coming out of the rain delay. And LSU being so close to where I'm from, it was a little bit different to get to play against them. And so, man, just the way we played, it was awesome. And then team moment will be, man.
A lot of good ones this year.
I know.
There was like so many moments filled the year. It's insane that was one season.
Yeah. It's as a whole team, I would truly say, man, probably just, the trips on the bus, on the plane, just being around each other, even, after the loss against Texas, just being in the outfield with those guys, because you don't really know if you'll be playing with those guys ever again. So that was definitely one of the, where all the teams together. I'm gonna throw Drew's home run, his walk off.
That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah, and then I guess one of my moments was after the dog pile and stuff, after the Super Regional, I kind of walked over to the fence and kind of just like looked up at my family, and they were all just kind of looking onto the field, and we were just, we didn't get to say anything because it was so loud, but just the look, I don't know, it was very special for them to get to be there, being so far from home. And it was something, that every kid dreams about. It was a goal that I wrote down before the season. And then just scanning the whole stadium was super electric. I mean, you can't even really explain it. It was awesome.
I'm glad you said LSU for your first one because there's something about you and LSU. I don't know what it is. You're in town. The Vols take down LSU last night. Y'all were 5-0 against LSU last season. You were 2-0 personally. I mean, what is it about? You just hate the Tigers, or do you really like the Tigers and you just play well against them? What is it?
Man, I wouldn't say I hate them. They're definitely pretty close to my hometown, and never got a courtesy call, as I should say. So maybe I had a little bit of that against them.
Okay.
But other than that, it was, we knew that they were a good team, and they'll be a good team even this next year. They got some dudes on that team But at the same time, we did too, and so we showed up to play, and they just, they didn't have enough for the Vols last season. That's
There
it.
you go. Okay.
How
So what
you-
you're saying is we need to take you to Death Valley next year when the Vols play.
Yeah. If I can't come, just FaceTime me in.
I got you.
We'll do that. You
Hey,
mentioned the
Joe,
rain delay.
you have that picture too, right? Of the LSU coaches.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that today. Oh man, I saw that earlier today on Twitter. I loved it.
Oh man.
I want to ask you about the rain delay. You mentioned the LSU super regional. I think you played golf. I think I saw that in one of your bios. Is that so that before they came out and called it, it was hilarious. They were like thinking about not calling it because you took the biggest divot I've ever seen on your last pitch. I was like, guys, the mound has got to be worked on. Is that the biggest divot you've ever taken, or have you left some bigger ones out on the fairway?
I actually played golf today, and I left some deep ones. So yeah, it wasn't a good day, but no, I've definitely taken bigger ones out of the course for sure.
Where'd you play out today? In Knoxville?
I don't know if it's actually. We went to Whittle Springs. We tried some other courses, but they were all booked up, so we went to Whittle Springs.
There you go. You're probably hitting some greens then on.
I did, yeah.
Short, yeah. I like it.
What was it like? Let's fast forward a little bit to when you got drafted. What was that like? Did you get a phone call first, or were you watching it, or how did you find out?
So I was watching it at home with a lot of family and friends, which was super awesome to be able to share that, that moment with everybody. But no, I didn't really do phone calls with organizations kind of leading up to the draft. I didn't want to put too much into my head and give myself, like a certain number or round or, just kind of, I didn't want any possible false hope. So my agent, he took care of most of the, the conversating like a week leading up. And then that day, and he called me a couple, it was probably like 20 picks before. It was like, hey, talking to the Blue Jays, blah, blah, blah. You think we can get it going? And so we talked, hung up, and then it was 25. And then 20 picks before I actually did get picked, he called me and he told me it was a done deal. And me, my dad, and my brother just started bawling, crying in the other room because it's a feeling you just can't explain. And I'll never forget it. And then, we all sucked our tears up and then went into the other room and tried not to show any clues. And then it came across the screen and, it kind of just all went crazy. A lot of hugs, high fives, tears. It was awesome.
That's such a cool moment. I guess favorite. I'm wearing the Sunday Cream today. What's your favorite uniform?
I mean, I threw in the icy whites. So
okay.
But I did throw at the SEC tournament. Yeah, COVID year I threw in the pinstripes. This season I threw in the icy whites, and the only, I think maybe and then the grays away. I love the grays, but the classic orange on white I wore at the SEC tournament, and man, I love those. I got some dope pictures with that on.
It pops, doesn't it? That orange.
Oh
pops.
Yeah.
Did you have a superstitious one though? Like, were you like, I play better than the whites? I'm rolling with those all the time, or
no? I just thought they were drippy. No. I just
Well, I got to ask you about superstitions too, because I got to think unless MLB lightens up on their search for aid to pitchers, I'm trying to remember. I think you grab the belt, pull up the arm.
It's the sleeve. The sleeve
was a big one. That was actually, I started that this year. Yeah.
So are you ready to get the belt check? I think you may have to be one of the guys that pull the pants down and
I might have to. Yeah, that was just I don't know if it was just in the moment because I don't do it for bullpens really, but in game, in my head I was thinking, if I don't feel completely comfortable, I might not throw well. So that was just like made sure everything was comfortable. And my jersey was a little big with number 36. So my sleeve, I felt like it was too far low. So I just kept yanking up. And I think at one point I actually had like, it was all the way at, at the top of my shoulder. It kind of was funky, but I had to be comfortable.
I loved it. I love a good watching pitchers' routines, free throw routines. They're always the best. There's
us pitchers are
always some weird ones.
We just embrace it.
So what is kind of your expectations for this baseball season coming up for the Vols? Lost some guys, got some guys coming back. What's kind of your thoughts on them? You've seen them up close now, so
yeah, man. I've got I do, and they definitely should as well. The players and coaches, there's always going to be high expectations. But I do. I think they're going to be a very solid team on every aspect. Throwing in a newer guy like Russ, even though he's caught in practice catching. Russ is a winner, so he's going to get the job done. He's not going to let himself fail, and if he happens to fail, he's not going to let himself fail again. He's that kind of guy, and so just got a lot of grinders on that team, and next man up, and they understand that. So I know they've been working all fall and summer and Christmas break, doing individual stuff or whatever it is. It's not just going to be a one and done thing at Tennessee. It's next man up, and with everybody on the team and in the program, everybody understands it. And when that's the case, it's not a one and done thing. It'll be there for a couple years.
What's kind of your advice to Blade? He's kind of, I guess he's the favorite to take over that Friday night role. What's his kind of mentality this year, and is it different from last season being a freshman and the role that he played?
Yeah. I love Blade. I mean, I'm sure, I haven't talked to him face to face a whole lot. But I'm sure, as every freshman in college to sophomore in college, you mature. And it's just how it works. But I know, he's a hard worker, and, he's the same way, he's going to compete his tail off until he can't anymore. And, I think he's going to, like I said, next man up, and he understands that. And he's a competitor, a bulldog, and he knows what he has to do. So he's just got to do his thing and not worry about anything else. And he's going to have a crazy year.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's kind of all I got.
Yeah, that's it for me. No, that's it. Cheese, we appreciate you hopping on. You're welcome on anytime. You call us, we'll make space for you. So
all righty, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, see you, Cheese.
Man. Thank you.
See y'all.
That was VFL, now Toronto Blue Jay, Chad Dallas, Cheese, as you probably know him better. We appreciate him hopping on. We're a Vol baseball podcast. We can't hide it. We can't.
Very biased.
They've got spots on the show whenever they want.
We just love the personality like that. We just got to go get personality.
There's definitely something to kind of the formula, I guess, that Vitello's created. I don't know if he's like a mad scientist, like Bryson DeChambeau type. I don't know if he's in the lab always. Yeah, he's in the computers, he's in the numbers. But you can't measure personality, Landon. There's not a measurable, but he's worked up something, and it's been fun. The guy, like you said, the guys just around him, assistant coaches, the players that come onto campus. It's an easy team to cheer for.
Yeah,
they win.
They kind of in a rough time. They kind of put hope into this fan base,
right?
And so that. The fan base loved on them. That I think it would have been sooner in 2020. They would have really clung on to him, but didn't get to really see that season play out.
Right.
And but the last season, it just opened the floodgates for Vol baseball. So super excited to see what they have. Hope he has a ton of success in the pros. I wish he could have stayed another year, but I understand when you go in the fourth round, you got to take that money.
The man got LASIK, Landon. I mean, come on.
I know, man.
Come on. Which I was a little disappointed in. I wore my glasses just for him. Not really.
I need the Cheeseheads to come back, make an appearance at some point this season.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of the Cheeseheads. I think it's like one reason I like Green Bay. I'm not saying all, but like
yeah,
one
I
reason
mean, rough day yesterday for the Cheeseheads up north, but it's all good. But yeah, that was really cool. Really cool to hear from him. And he does hate LSU. His career high in strikeouts is against LSU in that super regional.
I meant to mention
12.
I meant to mention to him, he almost hit the way he could bounce back from things, like almost convinced me that anytime Chad Dallas had a solo home run hit off of him, I was like, oh, that's good. He's in. All right. He's here. He's arrived. And then the LSU game at the end of the season kind of like concluded my hypothesis that he had 12 strikeouts after getting a solo home run hit off of him in the second inning. So he made me right. He proved me right. He had me convinced and proved me right.
And he's always engaged too. He has that little kind of crew down there at the end of the dugout with Cortland Lawson and Kirby. They're always locked in, doing something. I'm sure it's their ritual down there is whatever they do before games and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch him and see him really thrive this season. I think all the SEC teams that were put out there and he wasn't on them, I made sure my voice was heard because snub. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Very dumb.
But fourth round, I think he'll take it. He just wants to pitch. That's what he said. He just wants to pitch.
Love it. We talked about when we missed it, when we lost him for a second. It's a different mentality.
Yeah. I like that. He said his jersey was too big in 36, and 36 is what that kid said in Last Chance U. He's like, 36, coach, really? I get that whatever number. That's awesome.
Let's talk about the Tennessee had another recruiting weekend, Junior Day. Is that this weekend?
Yeah, Junior Day, move-in day for some early enrollees. So, got some of those guys on campus, and then 4-star edge signee James Pierce took his official visit. He won't enroll until later on, but he did take his official visit to Tennessee. And then Junior Day, you had a ton of kids on campus. I'll read a couple of those. You had your commits in Ethan Davis, Jack Luttrell. Then you had some 5-stars, defensive lineman Vic Burley and wide receiver Carnell Tate. And then you had 4-star wide receiver Devin Hyatt, which is the brother of Jalen Hyatt, was on campus. And then Elijah Herring's brother, Caleb Herring, 4-star edge rusher, was also on campus. Quarterback Christopher Vizina, Max Carroll, Aiden Bustle are some in-state guys that were also in town. So just a ton of kids on campus for Junior Day, and a good weekend, I guess, really start up the 2023 class.
Yeah.
So, not a lot of recruiting news, just some notable things like that. Some big players on campus, maybe names to watch for that 2023 class when it really comes to fruition, I guess, in the summer and this fall. So,
right. I know anything else for recruiting weekend before we move to the playoffs and the Buffalo and Kansas City game that's taking place right now.
Yeah. What's the score to that game?
So it's 26-21. I don't know if Joe, I don't know if you've had that on in the background. What happened? How did it get to 26-21? I know it's 14-14 and a half. I missed the rest of it because obviously we started this up. I didn't see another point, and now it's at a weird score. Kansas City scored 9 in the third quarter. I don't know if they kicked 3 field goals. I don't know if there's a safety.
They miss an extra point.
They missed an extra point, and then kicked a field goal. Okay, I didn't even consider that. That's fair.
Yeah, that's all it was. Just your point missed.
Yeah, that's right.
Joe, are you back on campus? Back in Knoxville?
Man, I'm back on campus. I'm at my brother's house right now, but I'm still in Knoxville, so I'm good. No more moving around. I'm sure I'll still be in weird, wacky places for the show, but
I actually texted Joe on Saturday. I was at Old City Sports Bar, and I walked in at 4 o'clock. I was like, okay, there won't be a ton of people here. Oh, my God. There was probably 1 billion people in that small bar. And I was like, oh, yeah, they're moving back on campus today. So I texted Joe. I'm like, "Are you here?" Because everybody else on campus is. But he missed out. He had better things to do.
Questionable.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it. I do want to mention of course, the Titans Bengals game. God, what a good football game. Like, it's been the story all week. At least we haven't had any crappy games that have like been complete bullcrap.
Yeah, and also like Titans fans, I'm not, so I can probably say this without like feeling bad. But you had to know like something like that was going to happen, right? Like, that's just a Tennessee fan.
If you're a Tennessee Volunteer fan and a Titans fan, you had to know.
Oh yeah, like if you didn't know you're expecting anything else, you spread your legs and just let that game kick you right in the nuts.
Well, especially too for the Bengals. Like, if they were playing the Bills this week, maybe it's a different story. But the Bengals, we were joking about it in our group chat, like Cinderella story. They won the division, but that Cinderella story had already been painted on them. It was done for Tennessee when they became the Cinderella team. Dunzo.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they didn't sneak into the playoffs, but they weren't supposed to win that division. They weren't supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were probably expected to come in fourth. They thought Browns, Ravens, Pittsburgh, you thought that they would be fourth. So, I mean, the Cinderella team, maybe that's not the right word, but it definitely wasn't expected them to be in the AFC Championship.
Right. Shout out to McPherson. I love that call.
I hate McPherson.
I think you're a Tim Tebow fan.
No, I'm not. Why is he always yelling?
You told me he was your favorite baseball player of all time.
Yeah. He's my favorite baseball player that should have never played baseball, yes.
Fair. Okay. All right. I do want to say, too, the Rams-Buccaneers game, if Matt Stafford wins the Super Bowl this year, is he like legit Hall of Fame territory because of how he played at the Lions? And he played with the Lions that long.
I think he should have been anyway, just for playing at the Lions that long.
See, I agree with that. And then when when they were down when Tampa Bay tied the game, I was like, if he wins this, he might be Hall of Fame. I was like, let's make him win a Super Bowl or something, put him in the guaranteed category.
But he is kind of at fault for the Lions being so bad because they couldn't get like the number one pick every year because like he would win some games.
That's a fair point.
So it's kind of his fault.
Point. I just see guys like Andrew Luck who quit on like.
Have you seen him?
I mean, he looks terrible and fantastic.
Oh my God!
He just looks so happy.
He spent all his money because he looks like crap.
I don't think he smiled the 6 years he was in Indianapolis, and now he's from ear to ear every time he's on TV.
He looks like he just lives like in like a nice little travel camper in the woods and like travels around the country and just stopped by the set to say what's up. But he's just big coffee shop guy.
Oh yeah,
coffee shop.
Oh. He knows the best ones.
Like not a Starbucks. He goes to like.
Well, no, he knows like the little hidden hole in the wall, good coffee shop.
Yeah.
He's cutting his own wood and lives in a camper. It doesn't make that much sense. He's that kind of guy.
He is Stanford.
And then Cooper Kupp. How is it Cooper Kupp that's left wide open in the middle of the field?
I have no clue.
I just like the one guy you really got to keep from getting the ball right now. It blows my mind.
Why did you send a freaking like nickel blitz?
Right. I'm all for being aggressive, but that just doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, like you're trying to get to overtime. That's all you're trying to do.
Fair.
Because I mean, there's not enough time for you unless you got a turnover that you're going to score. So I don't understand why are you.
Maybe they thought they were going to get another freaking. I don't know how many Ndamukong Suh like fumbles. Turnovers are going to happen in a game, and you wanted another one in 3 minutes? Come on.
What is
2 in 3 minutes? Get out of here.
Dude, Cam Akers, if they would have lost that game, he would have been released. I mean, that was
such a
horrible.
Yeah, but you also had Ndamukong Suh that got a hold of your arm and nothing else.
But he also fumbled at the 1 yard line earlier in the game.
That's fair. It's just like, how much could you do about that fumble? That's what I mean.
That's true.
And what was funny is I was thinking just run it on this down and hope to get a yard or two. I was like, run it on this down, get it down to close to 2-minute warning, and you help yourself out. And then that fumble happens. I was like, all right. Tom Brady's somehow going to win a game. That's what I'm most happy about is Tom Brady didn't win a game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in hating Tom Brady.
Oh no.
No. That was
I mean, that's the best part about it. I was happy for Matt Stafford, but
he got his hopes up and then
I think that was the best part.
For sure. Then the 49ers beat the Packers. I know Landon was laughing at the Packers. I think you were just really letting them have it.
Oh, like why is the special teams coordinator still there anymore? I mean, good Lord. Also, them only having Devontae Adams, Jordan Love didn't even really play this year. Why the hell did you draft him?
Well, that was
in the first round.
That's why Aaron Rodgers is leaving. That's why he won't be there next year.
Yeah.
Is because you all didn't get weapons around him.
Crazy.
Maybe I'll get someone clip it and send it back to me next year, but Jordan Love's going to do.
No.
Because Devontae Adams is just going to pack his bags and leave as well. Like, it's not.
Yeah, he's leaving too.
So, I mean, I don't know unless they just do a full rebuild with some people that there's some chemistry there, but I haven't seen anything from him that's going to make me think he's going to be stellar at Green Bay.
No.
They don't make
it'll
another.
Be A.J. Dillon, Allen Lazard, and Jordan Love running that offense, baby. Hey, but it's okay. The Panthers hired Ben McAdoo as their OC, and he's like the worst OC in the National Football League. When he was at the Giants, they were dead last in points and yards. So
speaking of that, why does the NFL? I mean, college football does it to an extent, but the NFL truly just recycles their coaches. Like no one new is ever there.
No, it's weird.
I'll say that. There's like
that's kind of why you see
really good.
Well, like you see head coaches that are different, but they're all like young. Like Sean McVay's 35.
You had that, I guess, like 2 or 3 year stretch where Sean McVay got hired.
Matt LaFleur.
Of course, you had Matt LaFleur. You had
Shanahan.
Cliff Kingsbury 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan. Like, so many young guys got hired. And look at who some of the most successful guys in the league are right now. They weren't – which I had McAdoo's, I guess, an offense coordinator, so it's different from my point. But it's not – they weren't just cycling through the same head coaches. Like, it didn't feel like the same head coaches were just at different teams next year.
I'm pretty sure all those 3 guys you just mentioned, LaFleur, Shanahan, McVay, were all on the Washington football team.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
I think they were 2013 staff or whatever. Or was
I
don't know, something like that.
It's insane.
I'm all for the young guys. Bring the young guys in. Yeah. Does it scare you how smart Sean McVay is? He has to have a photographic memory because he can remember every play ever. I feel like he's too smart. Kind of like Aaron Rodgers.
Too smart for his own good.
Well, just to be playing football.
Yeah, that's true.
Coaching football, whatever. I told you all about Hard Knocks about Carson Wentz. Didn't I tell you that?
Wait, what?
How he was like, he told his wife, he was like, if my baby's born during the game, I'm playing the game.
Yeah, you got to.
I mean,
did I tell you that?
I'll give him respect for that, but still don't like Carson Wentz.
I just love that it's like no matter what, this is what's happening.
That
seems pretty.
Yeah, I feel like you give that up to your wife. I feel like your wife would probably say play the game anyway.
Right. Exactly. That's my point.
You should just tell her what you're going to do. That I mean, with anything, and that's one thing I've learned in marriage is that.
Well, I just love it because it's like you're saying no matter what. Like, I mean, guys, it's pregnancy. There's all sorts of complications. It's like that seems pretty bold to be like, I'm not going to be there with you if the baby's born.
You're just going to walk off like Andrew Luck did.
So I think that'd be smart. I'm enjoying the in-season Hard Knocks though. I like it because you hear more from the guys you want to hear because they always have like 2 storylines in in the preseason camp with like 2 guys that aren't going to make it in the league, weren't ever going to make it in the league. Yeah. So it's like you don't care about them. So
Yeah.
in-season Hard Knocks is good. I'm enjoying it. Which I did. Did y'all ever watch the All or Nothing
They're not
series
as
on
good.
Amazon?
I watched
They're
some
not-
of them. They're not as good. They're okay.
They're not as good, and then you probably won't like the best one. The best one is the Tottenham one. That's the best All or Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched some of the football ones. I wasn't super impressed. And then Hard Knocks just kind of burned me out with the Cowboys one sucked.
I didn't watch all this preseason.
It was bad.
I didn't like it. Yeah. I did not enjoy it. I think I missed some big moments, which sucked, but didn't enjoy it. Anything else for the playoffs?
I don't think so.
Who wins?
Questions? Most important?
Do the Rams
Who
win it?
wins it? I don't know. I'm rooting for the Rams because of Dylan's bet. That
Oh,
like,
that
just to
whole
keep it.
list.
Yeah, need it to stay alive.
I'm still rolling.
49ers. I mean, I should know better here in 2.5 minutes. I really want it to be the Bills, but they're going to be up 4th and 13 here with 2:23 left. Down 5. I thought the Bills looked like at the end of the season, but this hasn't been. You're playing Kansas City. I like 49ers. I'm not convinced they could. I don't know.
It's kind of like going back to the quarterback thing. Like Jimmy Garoppolo isn't great,
Right.
so can you really count on him to win you one?
Mm-hmm. So is it this? Do you think it's an NFC or AFC team? Since you 3 of the 4.
Man, I'm gonna go. I think it's got to be Rams or Chiefs.
Oh, so you can't pick NFC or AFC. Okay.
No,
I'll say
now. I think the Rams have the better team, but again, quarterback, like Chiefs got the better quarterback, or the Bills. Whoever wins that, I think
Gotcha.
both those teams are kind of very similar.
Right. So you said AFC, Joe. My question is about the Bengals. If the Bengals do somehow win the AFC Championship, can they win a Super Bowl? Like, when does their luck run out, I guess? I know they're a pretty good team, but
I just feel like I've said that so much in the playoffs and like even at the end of the season, I'm like, okay, like they're gonna have like a bad beat, like not me. I was impressed.
It's unpredictable. I mean, all the underdogs have won besides this game, and it's to be determined.
Right. That's why I'm not kind of counting them out. I kind of agree with you. Like it's kind of crazy to go on the limb. I don't think they would. I would love to see Joe Burrow smoking a cigar with his leg crossed, and like they do the same pan they did, and like halfway in the video it cuts to him in a jersey and he's smoking it. That would be the greatest video of all time.
I want to know where they got that couch.
I'm officially a Bengals fan. I like what Joe said. I'm a Bengals fan. That Bengals need to win it. I need that.
Yeah.
I would say though. So I guess my final one is I'm with Landon. I think Chiefs or Bills, whoever win this game, wins the Super Bowl. That's what I'll say right now. So I'll do that, and then I'll root for the Bengals.
Most important.
Most important.
I got where is it? Kansas State's Ioka Lee had 61 points today against Oklahoma. Number 14 Oklahoma, ranked opponent. They won 94-65. She had 61 points.
That's insane.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Golly.
61 points. Well, how many does it show you how many were 3-pointers? Maybe if she's just deadly from range, or if is she like 7 foot?
To start the game, they were on a 15-0 run. She had 12 points.
Okay. So she carries.
Yeah.
Okay.
My first one. Oh, sorry.
She was 23 of 30 from the field, 15 of 17 from the foul line. She had 12 rebounds. She blocked a shot. I'm trying to see how many. Did she have any threes? I don't know. I'll look that up.
That's impressive. Sign her up.
I've got a video for mine. I should have had it. I should have sent it and uploaded it. But do you remember we've talked about that competition land or whatever you want to call it, challenge, where it's like run a 40 and under 5 second 40, kick a 40-yard field goal, whatever it was. Did you see the video of that guy? He's baseball. He hits a baseball over 100 miles an hour, both right and left-handed.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He kicked a 45-yard field goal, had like a super long rugby drop kick. That King of JUCO, 387-yard golf drive. That's stupid. Which, I mean, most of his things are all power-based. He throws the baseball 94 miles per hour. Most of them are power-based, but it's still freakish how like many things he can do with that.
I mean, I'm trying to think of like who would be athletic, and like OBJ is super athletic. I feel like he could do some of that stuff, but not all of it.
I feel like you do different versions because, like I said, this is all pretty much power.
Yeah,
most of them. The football field goal and rugby field goal are a little bit of power, but mostly skill.
So that girl didn't have
like
a single 3-point attempt.
That's more impressive. She's just a monster in the paint.
6'6".
6'6".
Oh, it is. She's just posting up and turning around.
Yeah, she's just like throwing it over the rim.
Real quick, Josh Allen, 4th and 13, just dimed it in there, and they got the.
Did they score? Oh my gosh!
And they got the 2-point conversion, so they got a 3-point lead.
Hey, yo.
2 minutes is a lot for Patrick Mahomes, though. So I mean,
yeah.
I
do hate this I hate it for Patrick Mahomes, but for what's his brother's name? The other little Mahomes.
Jackson.
I'm very happy to see maybe him throwing a drink again or something insane to happen. Rooting against that guy.
Yeah. Or is it his wife that she's
his wife's very annoying too?
Yeah.
Very annoying.
All time.
We didn't talk.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
You talk about that dime. Did we? I don't think we talked about Tannehill's dime to AJ Brown.
Yeah,
that should not have been. I don't know. It literally. He put
it. Didn't make sense. He could.
It didn't. I was like, how did he catch it? How did he score? What is going on? Incredible.
How did not hit the Bengals player in the back?
Yeah, it was insane.
My most important might even tie into this game, but my most important for this week is kickers. They've been basically every game. I'm pretty sure McPherson, Gould, Gay, all of them have been decided by a kick, and so it brings up the point. How I mean, we were talking about this just over break with my girlfriend's dad. If a good kicker is available, he'll take him first round or something. It just begs the question, how hard do you go for a first round kicker, or even trading for a kicker when you see someone like McPherson, or was it Koo for the Falcons that or a dog? I mean, yeah, kickers are worth it, dude. They can decide some games. I don't know, but I mean, maybe
I feel like this is gonna come down. They're gonna kick a field goal, and then it's gonna come down to another field goal.
Yeah, maybe Bucker gets it from the 40.
Because isn't that the way that it's been? Every game has come from a last-second field goal.
Yeah, every game today, or
literally.
Is it today? Or this weekend? Sorry, this weekend.
Today, yeah, McPherson and Gould yesterday, and then Gay today was as the time went down. So I don't know.
God, what a freaking route!
Yeah, Josh Allen's a dog. He's
Oh
good.
my
He's good.
God. That corner just broke his, not even his ankles, just his whole leg just shattered. Any more most importance?
So I'll let my most important / fail because I don't know what it is. It's so awesome, but you all may think differently. So I've got to maybe leave it up to debate, let you guys decide. And it actually comes from our friend Bud Elliott. You remember Bud Elliott? We canceled him.
Yeah.
He's the one who tweeted this. He tweeted, ESPN News is airing the Air Guitar Championships. This is not a drill. It's real. They have an Air Guitar Championships, and the video from it is insane. I have 2 videos with I'm so sorry, guys. I'll send it in our group. But the video is absolutely insane. It's electric. I mean, sign me up. I wish I'd watched in time. But it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So you all might call it a fail, but I don't know. ESPN The Ocho, bring it back.
Oh, prime, especially at quarantine when they try that again. We got marble racing on at noon, just prime time. It was awesome.
Dude, at times, I get in a rabbit hole where I watch this guy on TikTok. He's always on my For You page. I don't know why. I don't follow him, but he always shows up and he has a treadmill that he'll race just random things like Hot Wheels or just random stuff like that. Cans of food.
Yeah.
His commentary is great.
It is. It is really good.
I don't see any of his videos except for his live videos. Like what? I mean, I feel like he's broken the whatchamacallit. The
algorithm?
The algorithm. He's broken the algorithm. That I get none of his videos and all of his live videos. I don't understand it.
I guess I don't know what his videos would be. I wouldn't be that excited to watch it like after the fact. But when you get that live rush where you just pick a color and you run with it and you're like, oh my God, I'm about to win.
We got to start gambling on that. When
I've thought about it plenty of times. Throw that on FanDuel when I'm ready.
So, Caleb, tell me if I'm announcing this right. Majberg, is that right? Majberg?
Context. I don't know.
I think it's a soccer team somewhere.
The way you're saying it, I'm not recognizing it.
Magdeburg.
We have a game, by the way. Patrick Mahomes just went deep to Tyreek, 64 yards.
I've seen
to the house.
I don't know what.
No.
Oh, it's a.
I'm a play behind you.
So now Josh Allen up to.
I thought you couldn't do the peace sign anymore. Thought that was not allowed. He did it again. Scumbag. He's bringing the game down. Respect the game, Tyreek Hill.
Yes, all right. It won't come down to a field goal now, so I guess I jinxed it, but I guess we'll see. Dude, Josh Allen, a minute left, 3 timeouts. This might be a fantastic ending.
Love it. I don't know, Landon. It's a German team, so I'm going to go with that pronunciation. May not be correct.
Okay. So their team hadn't scored in the last 5 games, so all their fans brought big arrows and pointed at the goal.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Soccer fans are the best. Sorry, football fans.
If y'all can see this. This is all the arrows pointing.
I can't see anything. You can send it to me. I think I've seen stuff. I've seen stuff like that. That's fantastic. I love them. I feel like by making that a fail, Landon, you're bringing attention to the team when the attention should be on the players.
No, I did it as a most important.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm good. Do we have any fails? Do we have any fails? Or are we still almost important?
Mine's Will Wade just crying at the scores table in the middle of the game.
Mine's also Will Wade, but it's not that. It's kind of not even really a fail, but I'll go. I actually have a video clip. It's actually just him. What I think is just. I'll play it.
Hey, Coach, with the offensive struggles lately, what do you think your solution to your offensive struggles are?
Well, I got to take a little bit more control. I've given our guys a little bit too much freedom, and we're obviously not doing what we need to do with that freedom. So I've got to take a little bit more control back over everything.
I mean, I get what he's trying to say, but he's basically like, well, I'm a good coach. These players just don't know what they're doing. So I gave them some freedom. They suck. I'm going to take it back and start coaching them again, and we'll probably get better. That's what it sounds like. He's just deflecting all the stuff off himself and like, why are you guys struggling? Well, the players have too much freedom and they don't know what to do with it. So
yeah, what in the world?
Was that after the I assume that was after the Tennessee game?
Yep. Of course.
It's just such a weird statement. He's like, I don't know. Very weird. Like, I'm taking back control. You didn't have control at all of your team?
Yeah, why do you wait until like after a loss to take control of your team? That doesn't make any sense.
It's whatever. He's a little boy.
Little boy of the week. What did Robbie Gould? Did he have a double doink, or am I crazy? I know he kicked the game-winning kick this week.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, it wouldn't have been this week. Does he have one?
Oh, no, I don't know.
I think he does, but I can't remember.
I know Cody Parkey does. Never forget.
He did. Yeah, Cody Parkey has that one. He did. I didn't notice, or I didn't see that he doinked in the game winner against Green Bay. I didn't realize that.
I didn't know that either. I was watching on literally the smallest TV, I think, mankind. Because my girlfriend's grandparents are moving in, so they just have like this little like tiny one that they have up there on the mantle for now. So I was like, whatever. Josh Allen's driving. It's gonna be good.
So I think Cody Parkey. So. Robbie Gould. I was thinking he was out. I thought it was Cody Parkey, but I don't think he was at the. Obviously, wasn't at the Bears at the time. That's why I was thinking Robbie Gould had one.
Oh man!
Right.
Was that their last time out?
No, wasn't it their first one?
Oh, was it? Okay.
Surely they've not used all three in this drive already.
Just Davis, dude. He's got 7 receptions, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. That is MVP right there.
Yeah, his over yards. I took the over on his yards today, and it was 36.
So that was safe after like the first reception.
Yeah, unless he just yeah.
Oh my gosh!
And the over hit.
The over did hit, and somebody I didn't see. Somebody was sweating it. Were they at the 35?
Yep.
Landon, are you still a full play behind?
They just got to the 35. He just got that ball.
Okay.
Yeah, Hulu. I'm streaming, so it's a little slow.
Throwing it away. Oh my gosh. This is terrible radio. I mean, we're not on the radio. Terrible podcasting, but I mean, I'm kind of into it. Even though we don't care about these teams, so I feel like it's even more uninteresting.
Yeah, I mean, our episode's kind of over. We're just hanging out.
I do have Bengals money on, so I've got something in it.
Oh, there we
go.
I've got skin in the game.
Bills money on, right?
Or what I say? Bills money on. What I say?
Okay, you said Bengals, and I was like,
Bengals. Bills.
I was like, that one already cashed out, man.
Bengals money line's not hit. Bengals money line's not
Don't
hit
sweat the Bengals. You already won that one, Caleb.
A lot of bees. Oh my gosh. Is that an interception or a catch? What's he calling it? I guess he's calling it a catch. Pass interference. Is that what came on top of it?
Yeah. They'll decline it. They declined it though. Yeah, obviously. 15.
Really sucks that they couldn't get a field goal to win this.
I know.
They had no problem.
Off perfectly.
They had no problem moving the ball.
Unless they get the I'll just let I'm just saying what's about to happen. There's still time on the board for the Chiefs to tie the game up with a deep bomb, and Harrison Butker nails it from the logo.
Yeah, you got to make sure you score on like the last play. You can't give Mahomes anything.
Well, you don't have many more plays left, so.
I mean, Tyreek Hill just took a regular slant.
Come on.
64 yards.
Come on. Ask me how much money I have on the game. $5.
Damn it, Caleb.
Josh Allen is a dog.
I'm out here sweating $4.93. All right.
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
Is that the same guy? Who was that?
Yeah, that's 4 touchdowns.
God, dude, he's.
At what point do you not just like triple team him and be like, I don't care?
Did Grit have him for like 3 touchdowns?
Probably in a 12-team parlay that just hit. Probably.
Good Lord.
I mean, he was wide open.
They acted like they couldn't get lined up, and then they got lined up, and they still messed it up. Yeet.
Jeez.
I love mascots after field goals are kicked. They're the best. Did you see that one? Beating his head on the field goal post.
I would love to get
great reactions. I've got our mascot guy. I've got the phone number. I didn't have his phone number. I've got his number. I need to text him. I was told he would probably love to come on the show. That's what I was told. So
Okay.
We'll have to work out a time.
Oh, man. Gabriel Davis, have a day. He'll have no catches next game.
None. No chance. No chance. Where's Gabriel Davis from?
No idea.
Originally from Florida. He went to UCF.
Oh, Josh
Yeah.
Heupel guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh gosh, the football account's probably working up a tweet right now for that. It's gonna be in. It's gonna be in there. It's locked and loaded. Gah. He had 1,200 receiving yards last year. 800 the year before. Buffalo or Kansas City still has 3 timeouts too. I mean, you only have 2 plays realistically. If you're gonna, unless you, I mean, yeah, you pretty much have 2 plays.
They have 3 timeouts though.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you can only.
Just
Okay,
kidding.
I was like, yeah. Have you not heard Butch Jones? Every play 6 seconds, Landon. 3, I guess.
Yeah, they got 3.
I know exactly how much time the play is now.
Dude, I'm throwing a freaking go route to Tyreek. Dude, they need to be back. Get back.
Like, I mean, I get not wanting to play prevent. I don't understand why you don't put one guy, run your normal defense, run cover 3, run whatever.
One
put
guy.
One guy center field. Like, I just
Yeah.
don't understand it.
No, I'm with you on that.
Credit to our high school defense. We did that. I was center fielder, and I got an interception from it. So shout out. I got gifted a ball. Padding the stats. That's what
You fielded that. You waved your arm up and everything. You fielded that thing like a punt.
If we ever have Bobby Graham on, I don't know if I talked trash to him about it last time or not. He told me if a ball comes near me to bat it down. I was like, hell no, I'm catching that thing. That's an interception.
I'm trying to run it back.
I don't even need to run it back. I don't get greedy, but those things go in the stat columns, all right?
No, Tyreek. God, he's so freaking fast.
Why is he? I mean, there's no way they get this in field goal range, right?
No.
They would have to do basically the same thing, and it's going to be a freaking long field goal.
And it's cold. I don't know what the exact temperature is, but the Bills bring their own benches.
That should be a penalty. Butker is not wearing any pads in his pants.
Kickers have different pant rules.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I found that out because you're not supposed to wear them above your knees anymore. Pants, but kickers can.
Oh, you're not supposed to?
I still see a lot of players.
Yeah, I'm about to say everybody does.
But it was like 2 or 3 years ago in the NFL, it was a rule of emphasis that you had to have your pants.
Is that an NFL rule, or is that does college football have that too?
I think it's every level of football, but obviously it's not enforced unless it's like an emphasis that year. I don't even know if it's I don't know if it's an enforceable penalty though. You may just have to sit out until you fix it. So it's not even really that big of a deal. I don't like the guys swinging it air before their kick. I'll say it. You got a net and a ball.
Oh, they put another second on the clock.
Oh, shoot. Why did Buffalo burn a timeout?
How did they?
I think the clock was already stopped. I just don't get why they used it.
Oh, shit. I don't like being ahead. This gets spicy.
Come on.
This gets real spicy.
They could realistically get 15 yards here. I guess that's what they got last time. They got 20. 15.
Yeah, it's going to be a long field goal.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Dude.
No.
Landon's
I mean, this is awesome. I can't
I'm telling
complain.
you, this is going to be – so it's a field goal for it to tie the game and go to overtime. It's just going to be – that still counts. And I bet you a field goal.
What are they doing?
Wow. There it is. OT. 2 seconds is a lot of time for Josh Allen.
They made it? Oh, my gosh. I'm way behind now. How did I get so behind? I was with you. Or close to
you. Over to the ESPN app now. I'm just going straight off the little game cast, which is incredible.
Oh, is ESPN carrying the game right now too?
Just like the literally like the little.
Okay.
That thing. My little streaming thing was just lagging, so I've gone over to this.
What in the world?
Now I'm even further ahead.
Dude, who is that freaking DB?
What a freak. Stroked it, Butker. And you had a great mascot celebration. He got the little hula hoop going.
Dude, of course he's the best kicker in the league. He wears number 7. Everybody knows a low number is better than a high number.
Are any kickers high numbers?
I mean, like in college, you give them like 96 and
Oh yeah, they get
and
up there.
stuff like that. But 7's that's pretty badass for a kicker to have.
I love that he's wearing gloves. I'm assuming to keep his hands warm, but not wearing sleeves. I'm not with that. I'm not with that. All right, Chiefs.
He's got the Vices helmet too.
But he's, in the words of Cheese, he's drippy.
Dripping. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here.
It's been fun. Sorry for keeping you on so long. Hope you all enjoyed it.
Watching
Guys, we will be back on Thursday, hopefully celebrating a win over Florida. That's all we got. We're bringing the boat in.